And what I like about this, you know, I came here when you first started, actually, Ross.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. I remember coming up here, and probably you would agree with me, in respects to nature, there was very little here, very little, and I can see straight away.
Yeah.
I mean, the birds. I can hear the birds. I can hear the crickets going, etc.
Yeah. When it's a little bit still not quite so windy, this is just buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
You think you're near a bee's nest or a
Yeah.
wasp nest. It's that busy. So basically, from that ornamental journey, they come to here, which is the start of the edible forest. So this is obviously planted for the scope of in 5 to 8 years until it matures or starts becoming a forest. But basically every plant we've planted in here is on the edible spectrum. So it could be the pollen, it could be the leaf, it could be the roots, it could be the stem, it could be the seed, anything in there. Everything is on the edible spectrum. And the idea in that 5-8 years time, chefs can come through and forage, and it will be like a forest. So you would have mushrooms, and the little gaps you would have, wild berries. That's the principle. So a lot of the bigger trees, as you see, will be cut down and put back onto the ground as that process to, obviously what a normal forest would be. Trees fall down, die, feed the ground. So that whole, some of these bigger trees will put in, because obviously you wouldn't see anything to give that image now.
But this is what I like about what you've designed here. You've designed something for the future, not just for now.
No. And that's a whole part of the journey, so people can come through and immerse themselves in everything that's nature, but also what can be put on a plate, and you go, I saw that growing. No, wow. And that's the experience. Memories, memories can be from taste, smell, sight, everything you see are all memories. But if you can put all those memories, skills into one bit, you made it.
Yeah, and what I love about this when I walk through here is that, some things that most people would class as weeds, as they would class them as, probably don't understand the actual, what they do in nature.
Docks. Certain insects would only live on docks, but they're good predators.
I mean, from a farming point of view, that's a bad thing.
Bad boy, yeah. I mean, but also because they're deep rooted, because our soils are so deplenished of minerals, because they go deep rooted, their leaves are full of minerals because they've sucked up. So by cutting them down and letting them rot, you've then put minerals at the top. The whole cycle again. That's how it all. Carrots. We sowed carrots last year. These have just gone to seed. So how many people have seen a carrot flower?
Yeah, so I wouldn't even know this was a carrot flower.
Carrot flower. So that's last year's carrot left. I mean, things like this should be used. Well, I do use in ornamentals. Yeah. Because I come from an ornamental background. So things like that. I mean, just beautiful. How many people, like lettuce? How many people have seen a lettuce flower?
I mean, from a naive point of view, people don't even know lettuce flower, do they? Because they never see it.
No. I mean, kale. These are all kale flowers. Who likes kale?
Yeah, I love kale.
And this is
it tastes like kale.
This is a hunger gap.
Weird.
So this is this is last year's kale. So basically hunger gap is a very late, it's a very traditional, old-fashioned kale. It's quite strong flavoured, but it will keep growing where the others have died back. So that's why they call it hunger gap. It was that gap between the greens and between the spring green cabbages. So these sort of crops are old style, but that's what they were designed for.
But with the climate that we have, this is actually quite a good thing to do now, because actually this can adapt better in climate conditions, because it's not as posh as a kale from the supermarket.
This is 2 years old. So we sowed the seeds, they grew, they dropped the seeds. This plant's grown. Now it's starting to form its own seeds. So again, the third generation. So this plant is learning to live in this soil, live in this condition of wind and everything. So each year, it's like the genes are getting better and better. So we'll get more and more products, produce off of it. Those sort of things make sense. Where naturally you wouldn't keep bringing in new seeds of different varieties. Utilise what we have, and we let everything self-seed. And they learn from each other and then build resistance from the pests and the different things. Wind damage, we find them a lot stronger.
Yeah.
you know, the next generation, because they're used to living in the soil, the moisture and the wind.
But that's what I've noticed here in the last 2 years of coming to visit you.
Yeah.
They are more robust.
Yes.
And more, you know, where they have seeded and where you've kind of let it do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
It's understood that the DNA from those, from those seeds are native to this area,
Yeah.
which means it has a bit of programming inside that seed to go, oh, hold on, I know that this is going to be what it's going to be like when it comes out.
Yeah.
But also having those microbes in that process
Yeah.
means that when they do start to grow, that they have that data there to be able to learn.
We sprayed, and every tree that we planted, we put IMO,
Yep.
EM spray, manure, wood chip. So
Just
the
like
whole
a
balance,
starter,
you know,
isn't it?
yeah. And that again to kickstart, to help everything happen, and it really paid off.
And this
Really
is what I love about you using EM and you understanding EM. EM is not a miracle cure.
No.
It's not designed to be
No.
this amazing thing that's going to revitalise the world on its own.
No.
It can help,
It can help.
but it needs other things to be able to grow and develop.
Yeah, it didn't kill my grey hair, but you know. So this is all chicory. So hopefully next year we can dig up the roots, dry it and make, well, not camp coffee, but a chicory
Coffee. Yeah.
substitute. They can't use the flowers in the pub, only because they bruise really easily. So they have to wash them because of health and hygiene, and they just break apart, which is a shame because they're a beautiful flower.
I mean, obviously, I can quite happily pick that and eat it, and I don't have any issues with
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
obviously,
Yeah. But I'll tell you the site. Oh, no.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's very very
Grassy?
peppery.
Grassy or
No, I would say peppery.
yeah. But as you can see, you
Ooh.
look through. You got
That's got an aftertaste.
so you got the kale flowers, the yellow, and then you got the chicory flowers. I mean, and this is just cover crop, just put down and just let it do its thing. And what we found also with our fruit bushes that are dotted in between, when we left it like this, we could go and harvest the berries really quickly. As soon as first year we crimped everything around each fruit bush, next day you come down, all the fruit's gone.
Yeah.
So it shows that covered, safety net, keeping away birds. But we want birds.
Can I just point something out, because I know you're going to go on to about it before, but it's very wet underground. I know it's been raining, but in respects to irrigation, because you don't have any watering systems here, do you? This is the watering system.
So basically, by the cover crop and everything, bare soil can lose about 30% moisture. So every time you've got open soil, you're losing 30%. When the sun comes out, it could probably even increase more. But actually having a layer of mulch or living mulch, which is clover, any of the, it's actually keeping moisture in. So when that dew in the morning on soil, it just sits on top and dries out. With this, it runs through the leaves, it drops down, and it's underneath the canopy. So that moisture from the dew is underneath the grass canopy. So it stays there longer. So it's more chance of going into the soil, which obviously allows the plants.
Yeah.
So it's that principle of.
And I'm gonna say this because Josh told me, but one thing that he said to me the other day when I came up was a new value in a farm will be canopy.
Yes.
And shade.
Shade. Yeah, and wind protection.
And wind protection.
Yeah.
I mean, climate's changing a lot. And, one thing that we forget is that actually the sun has massive effects in respects to moisture content in the soil.
Yeah, and the plants burning leaves. You
Yeah.
know, we're having to probably think about soon our fruits will be southern France style.
Yep.
That's how much our climate's changing from the northern hemisphere.
Which is very worrying. But do you know what I need to point out? I'm just looking at this here. I mean, it's moving. Look at it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You've got bees, you've got butterflies. I mean, yeah, it's beautiful. And, it does make me laugh that, we're now talking about rewilding and etc., which is great to hear, but actually the best way to rewild is not to cut it down.
No.
And just leave it, let Mother Nature do its thing, and you've really kind of taken that on board, because that's what you get. Look at it, look at the bees buzzing around.